And we're live.
Yes,
Wonderful.
I can see all the faces.
Yay!
Yeah, so can I.
That is very good.
Yes,
And I can also hear everything. That's wonderful.
yes. All the senses are working, and that's always a good thing to have.
Most excellent.
So, welcome back to Penumbral, our English campaign. And while the previous were a little bit of world rescuer sort of deals, this one not so much.
More like world destroying things.
Yeah, I mean,
The world burn.
yeah.
And I can
I mean-
start with one house.
There is probably there is a reason.
Our house!
There's a reason why one of the characters is called Torch, because well, yeah,
A literal hothead.
yes. That's not because she's a secret agent to the Torchwood people, and if you knew that reference, congrats.
Yes.
Cool. So Penumbral, it all well, let's start with Torch. Yes, she is a free-blooded firebrand, vaguely humanoid with burning-looking hair and scales and orange hues in the skin, and likes to burn things and hot-headed in all fire in her veins in all the meanings of the sentence.
Exactly.
And then we have Adric Mirage Jarnath, who's
Hello.
Torch's cousin. Smoke, if whatchamacallit? A smoke genasi-blooded.
Smoke genasi, yeah.
Yes.
Some might call it a paragenasi, but it is what it is.
Actually, that's not the worst word I've ever.
Dual
Okay.
elemental genasis are a bit weird.
Yes.
Yeah. They do be quite funky.
Yeah, but genasis are awesome, so it's fine.
Yep.
Cool. And then we have the new blood, Jin Blackthorn. Seemingly an old human, but like everything else in this campaign, looks are very deceiving.
Indeed.
We adopted a new family member.
Yep.
Or
I'm
Torch did.
tagging along.
Enjoying the show.
Enjoying the roast.
Yes.
Is it that what I said?
I mean,
Who knows?
potato, I suppose. Or French fries and what's the small potato ball things? I don't know. But yeah,
Parisian potatoes, I think those
something like
that's
that. Yeah.
at least
Tater
how
tots.
it-
That's
Tater
the word I
tots,
was looking
okay,
for.
that's different,
Yes,
yeah.
French fries and tater tots. Good that I just ate because potatoes good.
Nom, 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 nom.
That sound, yes. But yeah, back on track, maybe.
Perhaps.
So as normal D&D campaigns we started in a tavern, or the ruins of a tavern. Torch had in the previous evening gone to a tavern to fight and drink and sing and have arm wrestling contests with lizard folk. No Goliath. Oh. Well, be it as it may, she went to this tavern and drank enough, and then the tavern, she passed out and the tavern just burned, and no one's sure why or how. But then the rest of the group, Jean was in the same tavern, and he remembers almost as much about the happenings. You saw that there was a fire hot enough to melt stone, and the rest of the people in the tavern were dead. So
No witnesses, no problem, my case is.
Yep. Except you almost got caught immediately by the city guard, but
yeah. A little
you just
mishap.
accidents. They happen, you know. One of my favorite quotes from Hearthstone. But yeah, you ran the orc away and getting some breakfast from the ruins of the tavern, and just you walked home to Torches and Crimson's house. The Zarnath family in this area are very, pretty powerful, because a merchant family trading in literally anything, like foods and drinks and alcohol and medicine and supernatural components for spells and what have you.
Oi.
Yep.
And well, where we are anyways is in a city called Tenebrek, which is known for the amount of exotic people and like people with elemental blood or fey blood or whatever blood, and people that have made deals with different sorts of creatures for power, basically. And you guys went to, the Zaranath mansion, which was filled with weird creatures, weird humanoid-ish creatures with like fey features and elemental features and all that. Like, there was a party going on with people from either from other realms or with blood from other realms. And you guys came from a party, and then you wanted to stop the party again. And while the rest of the group were partying. That's a good phrasing for now. Crimson, Torch's brother, found your father in dealings with a big troll-looking person. And Jin, I believe it was Jin who found the fairy dragon thing.
Yes.
So in the midst of the party, Jin's attention was taken by this small 12-year-old looking fairy dragon humanoid person. And then you were like, whoa, what is this creature looking here? But then you escorted the little girl to... She talked about finding her father. And you, escorted her to her father, because this was a party of, let's just say adult themes. And drinks and all that jazz, like colors and like UV decoration, continual flame, like different color lights and all that jazz.
If I remember,
Maybe some.
There was some elemental creature
Yes.
that was bothered by the fairy dragon.
Yes. And there was a lot of like non-humanoid features, like when you looked around, there was a lot of like fur and horns and iridescent shades. And then you just partied and found the father. The father being the big troll-looking person that Crimson's and Torch's father was talking with. And apparently there was some sort of deal going on with the between the troll person and your father, or Crimson's and Torch's father. And it seemed that the father of the family was in a wee bit of a pickle. And I believe that's where we left it off.
Yeah, that was pretty much it.
If I may begin.
Okay.
First of all, as I bring the child, kind of start from where more or less left off.
Yep.
We begin with her. Bring the kid
Mm-hmm.
back to the troll. Do I recognize Torch's and what was his name?
Crimson's.
Torch and Crimson's father.
I mean, you've seen the family insignia and colors around, and from the way he's acting, you get the feeling that he's either the host or a very high person in charge of the party itself, of organizing the party.
I see.
I'd assume that there would be some family painting somewhere.
Or is
Yeah.
there?
Unless it's burnt.
Actually, it doesn't matter if does Jin have Devil's Sight?
Yes, he does. So give me a second. He has specifically. I have Devil Sights, Eyes of the Runekeeper,
Yes.
and Eyes of the Runekeeper.
Yes.
Both of them are inscribed on my right eye. Not around it, the eyeball itself. Carved onto it.
Nice.
So yes, as I ring child, I take in the can more or less recognize who the two are. And well, I believe this is your father, I presume.
Yep. Hi,
No,
Pops.
the child. I look down. This is your father, I presume? Young lass?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Just. I lost. Just give me a second. I lost his name.
It was a gull.
Yes. Good that you didn't lose it. But yeah. I mean. Yeah, you do see your father immediately, like the feeling and the small, like the the feeling you get from your father gets you in a small state of like danger, because not life-threatening danger, but sort of business gone wrong danger, which will be fatal if not like handled with. So yeah.
I believe you remember how I saved the fairy dragon.
Yeah.
It was very cool.
Yep.
So
You mowed down a sea elemental blooded creature thing, but you just like nom with words, though not
with
like
my wine
physically.
glass,
Yes.
quite literally. So I come up to the Gao person.
Yeah.
I encourage the fairy dragon to. There you go. Off you go.
Gar looks around. She's very like there's a lot of lights and stimuli that she's very like, wow. And then she sees the big troll person, and she's like, Father, Daddy, and takes this jumping leap towards the troll person, and then the troll just takes it's this big sort of human troll hybrid, 2.5 meters tall and 1.5 meter wide person with like dressed half and half to take care of business and to take care of business.
Mm-hmm.
And the small, maybe like, I don't know, 40 kilo fey creature thumping into the 2.5 kilo troll makes it's a very sort of cute thing where when the troll person's whole feature just starts melting, seeing her daughter, and it's just for a few seconds. The troll is like, "Who's? Hey, baby, have you been?" And then he realizes where he is, and it's like returns to his resting beach face syndrome.
Resting a serious face.
I do believe you misplaced your child.
Yeah, in this sort of place, it's easy to misplace her because no, come back. Stay. Just for a second. I'll talk with these people, and then I'll try and get you home. Her mother was otherwise occupied.
Yeah. Torch actually, I believe that this is like an office room.
Yep.
We are in. Yeah, so Torch walks up to the main desk, opens one of the cupboards, and then takes this kind of, like those puzzle things where there's like two links intertwined, and then you have to like twist them apart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Torch takes that and then gives it to Gao and is like, hey, do you see this? This is really cool. Like, there are these two links, and then if you're really, really smart, and I know you can be, you can separate them without breaking them. It's a really cool puzzle. Wanna try it?
She was almost going away, and then she looks at the puzzle and is like, She looks like she starts to mumble something to herself in this sort of self-assuring way, but the language is a combination of... Actually, what's Torch's intelligence?
My intelligence is very beautiful and around 0.
So 10 around. I mean,
Yes.
you have heard the language. It's very sort of high-pitched and has a lot of musical notes, but you don't recognize the language. The little fairy dragon girl takes the puzzle and starts like hyping herself up and just like...
Yeah, and then when Torch sees that Gao gets excited, she's like, okay, it would be best if you like go sit here and really like focus on it. And it's like, go sit down and have fun with it. And she guides Gao to an armchair that is like next to the seat where the troll person is.
Yes. I believe the surname was Kazesaran. What was the surname of Torchen?
What was
Saranath.
it again? Yeah.
Saranath, yes.
Saranath. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So, Gao actually sits down. She sits on the chair, and then she like starts doing like being restless, and she sits down on the floor, and you realize it's because the normal chairs don't fit her wings.
Ah,
So she
totally understandable.
sits down and starts messing around with the puzzle box thing.
Yes.
And the big troll guy looks at the little fairy dragon with this sort of approval. And he mutters something to the effect of, "You got to teach me something like that." His voice is this very, sort of to himself, but his voice is a low basso growl, so it's very hearable even with the noise and people and music around.
Nice.
And meanwhile, there's Torch's father introduces Torch and Mirage to the troll person. You hear his name is Safe, or the name he used from is just Safe. And obviously introduces Crimson also. And then Torch's father turns to Jin and is like, I don't think we've been introduced.
In Blackthorn,
A pleasure.
the pleasure is all yours. Point being, yes, I would like to comment that I did lose a glass of wine in the rescue operation I made.
He snaps.
To begin,
He already starts snapping fingers, and then you see this small, shadowy servant thing just waddle from a corner to the closest table with wine glasses, and then just taking the wine glasses to a grip and bringing it to Jin. This sort of half translucent, half physical, magical force.
Yeah. Torch actually like gestures to the translucent servant thing that, hey, get me a glass too.
So your father does a small hand gesture, and the servant force
Thing.
servant thing
Yes.
waddles away to
as
the
I
very next day.
smell the aroma of the wine, do I notice is this the same swill they've been feeding us?
No,
Or
this
is the upper cabinet the good stuff?
is the good stuff because it is in the room, in this room.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
Yeah.
You're finally bringing out the good things. Clearly,
Of course.
Friend Zaranov has to be in a bit of a pinch. If you truly thought you could pass that pig swill as wine.
I mean, some people are getting to the feeling that they don't really need a lot of. They need more the effect than the taste.
That's a high scale place. Very interesting indeed.
Yeah, well, I am high skill player, and in this case, when he says this, the troll safe is like, and you can see Torch's father become like pale, like his skin pales immediately, sort of.
What game are you playing? In my experience, those who have to save the high skilled players usually are not quite such.
I play in the merchant game. I mean,
Trade.
Show me.
for example, this excellent gentleman here represents one of my greatest clients. Lady, you will not name her here because her name has power. Oh, what name does he use here? You can call her Lady Moonshine.
Quick question: do I recognize the title?
From the context, it's clearly a fake name. Like, it can literally mean freaking anyone.
Oh, so it's not like they come and like some people use like.
Not even a nicknames in
It's
stuff.
not a
will
nickname,
have
sorry.
power.
Actually. So it's a cover name.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a cover name.
Does
I mean-
the title ring any bells, perchance?
You have heard your father mention Lady Moonshine at some point, but you know she's a very high-paying client, very high class.
Look up at the troll and say, I
Yeah.
don't believe we have been introduced.
Safe.
Mr.
You can call me Safe.
Save.
Noticing that things are getting a bit serious, Adric basically, since so far he had the silent image illusion of masquerade mask and cloak on, basically. So he takes it off, the missy stuff, and hangs it in the air before allowing it to turn into more of a proper misty figure and walk back into the dance floor.
Nice.
So now in a more formal outfit.
Nice.
Nice.
So does this mean this is a party split?
In a way.
In a way, yeah.
I can split into two, at
Yeah.
least.
As
Maybe more.
Edric leaves and Torch has like gotten up from the floor after she gave Gaw the puzzle thingy, she's like, she has a drink on the other hand, and then on the with the other she like very like gives a very like friendly, firm, like shoulder tap on his father's shoulder, and is like, well, this is quite a nice party here. I do believe we can have you to thank for it. And she gestures to Safe.
Yeah, I mean, I was in the business of procuring a certain item to Lady Moonshine, and then my supply chain got broken. Speaking of which, would you mind being a dear and helping me get a thing?
What thing are we talking about?
Does
So,
she look like a postman?
so
Do give us the details.
Would your supply chains perchance need some kind of disciplinary actions?
not the crafter themselves, but there's someone who's stopping the spinner from doing their thing. You do know that the spinner is a local legend when it comes to anything wool related. They can do like any sort of cloth, any fiber related, any like cloth.
Legendary fiber artisan.
Yes.
Weaver's Guild, basically.
Weaver, that's that was.
Yes.
I just totally blanked on the word. Legendary weaver of like pretty much any wool, any. Pellava, what's the word? I lost the word again.
Ba.
Flax.
Yes.
Any wool, any flax, any sort of cloth, and they can do it. They can make it into fine things. So
An internal issue or an external issue?
So I had the materials taken to the spinner, and they sent me a code meaning help. And the party sort of had already kind of started as a door was open and people were let in, so I kind of stuck here. I'm kind of stuck here to keep an eye out on the people and keeping my client's representative happy. So could you run by the spinner and help them to deliver? And you can see that your father's trying to look and sound as brave as possible, but he feels like a deer in a headlight.
He's
like not even a deer in a headlight of a car, but a deer in the headlight of a train.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Mm-hmm.
You promised to set up a duel with the. You remember that Dryad from like a few weeks ago? They came in with the what was it? I think it was a jeweler or something. It was the bodyguard of that, and you still haven't set up the duel. I can go help with the spinner.
Yeah. I'll figure something out with you and the bodyguards. Just
Good thing.
if you fix this, I'll just whatever.
Okay. Good thing.
We will handle this. Jin, will you be joining us?
The more the
If,
merrier.
if you can make it worth my while,
I can promise at
I
least it'll
hint
be
both at
interesting.
the father and of course safe. With the added kind
No,
of
no, no. We don't need to. We don't need to mix the client. Mister Safe
I say it so
has
they can both hear it.
no. Mister Safe, it's fine. There's no issues here.
Oh,
You and then
a hero, a rescuer of damsels, of young damsels, does need his reward.
uh,
After which I kind of
me,
like to glance at safe as
yeah.
well.
Safe is partially keeping his attention on you, and partially on his daughter. And like you, Mister Zaranov is making this sort of gesture to say that no, there's no issues here. In the meanwhile, he's like giving you a golden handshake. You can feel a bag of what you can just assume are money and gemstones just like sliding up your sleeve. And he's like,
Yeah.
no, there's this just we can handle this ourselves. No need to bother Mr. Safe. He's come a long way to my mansion. Just we can handle
Yeah.
this.
Torch also nudges and is like, if you think this is the good stuff, just wait until you get the actually good stuff. And she's like gesturing to the wine.
I see. Though, then again, then I'll have to leave with the young Firefly and her entourage. But I must say, parentage has come to a rather sad end. They cannot even keep an eye on their own children. Where has this world gone?
When the children grow strong and independent enough, you just need to let them on their own wing. Give them a chance to use their own wings.
Oh, I agree with you. Sink or swim.
Mm,
You have guts. I like your
yeah.
attitude.
Torch leans in to talk on a low voice with her father, and is like, so I presume that the item in question is something that was meant to be ready for our guest here today.
And I really I assume it is ready, mostly ready.
So the supply chain is the issue, sure.
Yeah, there's something that doesn't allow the spinner to make a delivery.
Well,
I'm not sure what.
Well, if it's stopping your supply chain, I do believe that there's something that can give me a good time.
Yes,
Torch grins and like is like slightly like starts to like stretch out her limbs a bit and is like, all right, let's go.
Yes.
Adric comes quickly over to Torch's father and uses minor illusion to conjure up sort of like a city map of the place, hidden in palm though, just like to keep it from safest view, and just like, can you point us to the direction and we'll be on our way.
He uses his own minor illusion to make a small arrow in on the eastern side of the southern side of Tenebrück, sort of a small distance away from the main city.
So is it like a carriage trip or a trip that can be made by foot?
Well, it's a walking distance. It's like 2 clicks, maybe.
Nice. Yeah.
Adric just looks at the map quickly and is like, wonderful. All right, we have our heading. Shall we move?
Yeah, let's go. And then Torch is like, about to walk out from the door, but then stops slightly when she is like passing Gal and passing Saith, and is like, "Oh yes, and Mr. Saith, if it seems like our precious dragonfly here would require more entertainment, just ask for insert random servant's name, and they can provide more."
You mentioned Dave.
Dave's
Yes.
my dude.
Yes.
Dave
And-
knows his puzzles.
To these Crimson answers, actually, I could stay here and keep an eye out on Dad and the kid and like the situation.
Oh yeah, of
Because
course.
this seems more of like your sort of thing.
Yeah, I'll take care of it. You can trust me.
Don't destroy the spinner themselves because, well, you'll see.
Yeah. I'll be careful.
I trust you.
As I weigh the packet of money given to me,
Yep.
can I discern, because I'm not going to start counting them out there, can I discern based on the weight around
If
how much I was given?
you would, as if it's just gold, like there are half a dozen coins and then some gems, but just depending on the clinking, you're not sure if they're gold or platinum.
Interesting.
And then like the gems can be like, you can hear that they are gems, but
Indeed.
you would assume that it's not nothing super cheap because, well,
Of course not. I'll praise them later.
So, I guess we'll be begin to head outside.
Yep.
As Atric leaves the room, he's gonna do a little bit of a self chant to like to whatever Ifriti character is behind the Ifriti patron is behind this family right now. And after doing that quick chant of hopefully for good luck, he tries to do a sort of a flare movement and goes to the illusionary double that was currently dancing on the dance floor, catches it by the neck, and just like flings it around and onto himself.
like a cloak.
Yeah. Literally taking a illusionary person like that and just swinging it once around like a rag doll, and it turns
you
into
get-
a cloak, the process.
You get this combination of ooh, ah reactions.
Alright, let's go.
Hi ho, let's go.
Heck yeah.
Hi ho, it's off to work we go.
Yeah, Torch is
No,
like
Snow White.
visibly itching for a fight and is like slightly like jumpy and like cracking knuckles and is like, I'm ready to go. And then
Edric.
I do presume that
By
we
carriage.
it was walking distance.
Walking distance.
Alright.
Yeah. When we get to the mansion entrance, Torch turns to Edric and is like, okay, so which direction?
We're going to the southern side. So that way.
Yeah. So then Torch is like, okay, so that way. And then she takes this like runner about to start running position, you know, the one with the like hands on the ground, one leg straight and the other is bent, and is like, all right, time to start the engine. So then I'm warmed up when we get there, and then she just dashes forward. And then there's like you know like a trail of tiny flames as she has like started running. Yep.
Let's just hope that she won't disappear back to the past or the future.
Well, she needs to run 85 miles an hour, and so that's gonna take
1.21 gigawatts.
yes.
As a side note, I assume that Crimson is gonna stay behind to like check that things are gonna be okay at the house.
Yeah,
Or is Crimson coming along?
Crimson is staying behind.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Yes.
Here we go. Just in case, how long of a reach does Mage Hand have actually?
30
it was like-
30 feet.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's
So-
not gonna be enough, sadly. But basically, just to give guidance to the one running ahead, if she ever looks back, there's basically like a misty hand floating above, like mirage that's like pointing the direction where you need to go.
Nice.
Mage Hand
Nice.
is going like that way.
Good thing because
No, that way.
otherwise Torch would just like go straight ahead.
Yeah, you might find the ocean that way eventually.
The Jin simply walks peacefully.
Adric like comes around the same pace as Jin, but also keeps an eye on our torch,
Yeah.
just to keep the like the areas. Okay, left now, right, left, left.
Do I actually get out of Mage Hand's reach if I like sprint full speed
Yeah,
and
if you
they are
sprint too
walking?
far, yeah, the issue is that my mage hand will be staying like near me, so you need to look back. So if you like take a turn and you don't wait for us, then you're gonna get out of reach.
Yeah. I do
So,
think
don't
that
run too
Torch
far.
is dumb and also drunk enough that she actually would not look back. She is like her like cognitive processing power right now was like that direction. Okay, brrr. Like only one thing fits into her mind.
Adric just looks at this and slowly eyes just start to widen. Like, wait a minute, she is not turning. She is not turning. Then we might have a problem.
Question. This is a bit retroactive, but I have a question. Would
Oh.
Torch have been foolish enough to sign something I gave you that night when we were drinking?
Wait, what did you say?
Would she have been foolish enough to sign her name?
Sign, like write.
Sign her name
Yeah.
onto something.
Yeah.
No.
Even
Or
when-
actually, she would have maybe written torch. Like T-O, like torch. Yeah.
Okay, up to GM. Would that be enough to retroactively add her to my Far Scribe ability?
Oh.
Is it something that requires like the true name?
No, it doesn't require true name.
It requires you to sign. I can write your name into it. Can contain up to 3
Literally-
names, and essentially works like sending. I can
Yeah.
write things into the tome, and it works like sending. It sends it to you.
Okay.
It
So like
basically just requires name
aliases
connected
are
to you.
also like applicable.
Well, the text
If
doesn't
you have
say.
written it, that's the thing. If you have written it,
With your
my
permission,
knowledge,
Yes.
it goes
use
like
action
if you've written it,
name
then
on that page, which can contain up to 3 names. You can cast a sending spell targeting creatures whose name is on the page without using a spell slot.
I mean,
There's like always a chance
You can-
that she
yeah,
could
yeah.
have done it.
yeah, I mean, you can certainly try. There might be a mishap, but you can certainly try.
I put my hand inside my cloak, and I take out a dark book that seems to be. The spine is made of some kind of bone, out of some bizarre leather. It also has some weird, shadowy kind of carvings onto the leather. I open it up. I take out a piece. I take out an inkwell, like a small ink bottle. Hand it over to Edric. Open the bottle. Take out essentially a writing quill, a writing pen. And then start writing the instructions. The arrival instructions into it. Up to
Okay.
25 words or less. In the common tongue.
Okay. This is gonna be interesting. Can I show the minor illusion map that was given to me basically to
Yeah.
pin? Okay.
Do note I'm not explaining myself. Let's show me the map.
Yoinks. Shows the map on the same time, and yeah, there's all the ways.
Basically, like if you can draw like an arrow on it on the map to kind of show directions.
It's
As
like
you write the directions into it, I
currently
make
it
sure to
looks
have it in like at max 25 words.
okay. Basically, it currently looks like a city map made out of like a grayish misty illusion. It looks almost like I'm holding a mist that has 3D elements. And then an arrow of darker like gray begins to form, and it highlights a bit with color on the corners where you need to turn.
Nice.
I write down the instructions.
Nice.
Dot. And that ought to send it. Now, you ought to suddenly start hearing. It says you can send a message across any distance, according to what the spell says.
Yep.
There is a 5% chance that the message doesn't arrive, or as if it's on a different plane.
AKA a nat 1 on a d20.
Yep.
Does the DM want to roll that?
I rolled it already. So
Uh-oh.
Torch
If
is
the
running.
is a different plane than you. There's a 5% chance.
Still a mishap chance because it's not technically Torch's name, but I'll allow it.
True.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote it down.
Yeah, Torch starts running and she runs for a while, and then you start hearing, turn right in 300 meters. Sort of GPS shenanigans in
Nice.
Jean's voice.
Nice. She's
Happy
like,
Right.
okay. She doesn't like think too much about it. She just goes and turns in the direction the mysterious voice said.
Yep.
Did we literally just invent the GPS in D&D?
Yes.
Could I roll for survival if I actually manage to follow those instructions I am given?
Uh-oh.
I mean,
Or is it like clear enough that I just
it is
like,
clear enough, yeah. I
Okay.
mean, because this wouldn't be the first time Jin needs to give out instructions, so yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Very kind
you're,
of torchlight around the street where we are.
yeah. So you know where you go, and she knows where to go, and the Tenebrek itself is a very shadowy sort of city with a lot of individuality. There's many houses with different sort of expansions built into them, like extra rooms just jutting out of walls, or spikes, or walls, or like just decorations of weird angles and weird crystal things and iridescent colors, and this all gives a stark contrast to the fact that Tenebrek is almost always hidden in shadow, because it's a very dark place, and especially because winter has arrived and it's extra dark.
Is there any rain going on at the moment?
It's there's slight drizzle.
Well, just because of that, Adric takes the cloak again, like grabs it at here, pulls it off, and it turns into an ghostly umbrella, or basically a
Nice.
misty umbrella.
Cool.
Yeah.
Even though it doesn't protect it, still it gives a feel of protection.
I
It's an illusion.
believe
It
that
doesn't prevent water, but it looks good.
it looks cool, and it's cool, so it's fine.
I
Mm.
take off my monocle since it's going to. If it's raining, it's going to be covered.
Mm-hmm.
Take the monocle off, wipe it off, and put it inside my sleeve, somewhere there. Now you can clearly see the carvings if you're standing next to me.
Oh,
The right eye, some form of eldritch text.
hmm passive perception is 20, so I would assume
Yep.
that might
Yep.
spot that.
Yep.
Oh.
He has carvings on his eye,
The eyeball itself.
the eyeball itself. Yeah.
Intriguing pattern. You don't need to tell where you got them, but I'm just very curious.
Oh, a wonderful fate once youth. A wonderful experience. A wonderful experience. Much like. For it reminds me of the time, those youthful days of running in the rain. And I step out into the rain to actually feel it. Ah, the stinging cold of sea air, of storm, winds, and of course, the wet rain. Let's go find our little firefly.
All right. If my calculations are correct, I would assume that she's about around there, maybe.
Yeah. So you
Only
continue.
one way to find out.
Yep.
Only one way to find out.
You continue after Torch,
hmm
and we'll take a 10-minute break
Yes.
right about here.
Let's
Alright.
do just that. So we'll be back
See you
soon.
after break.
Yes. 10 minutes. See you also.
Bye.
Bye bye.
And we're live.
Yay!
Yes,
We're
welcome back. So, last we left, Torch had started running in the wrong direction, while gently being nudged to the correct direction by her cousin and Jin. So the city itself is, like I said, it's a very individualistic city with very little common themes between buildings. Even houses of buildings are very very random, with like some being just small closets for like 1-2 people, some being magnificent mansions, depending on which has like theme dependent on who the person living there has made a deal with. There's even some mentions that look like generic, like aristocrat merchant mansions with no specific themes, which are just lame. Because as Tenebrick is a very like everyone for themselves sort of place. Most people want their artistic side to show. But as you're running south, the city itself just like wanes away into fields into fields and slopes of mostly, well, plains and farmlands, which are covered by the first layers of snow and pre-snow. What's the word? Half melted pre-snow. There's probably a better word for it.
Frost?
Something around there. If anyone in the chat can just tell me what I'm missing here.
Yeah, if you mean that thing that's
drizzle,
like after
maybe.
like minus below zero nights,
yeah.
and then there's like on the like grass.
Yep.
That thing.
That
yeah,
thing.
it's frost, I think.
Yep. And there are here and there you see small tufts of trees and other outcrops of bigger plants. And there's the fields outside the city. The fields are just spread far and wide, curving and zigzagging around hills and slopes. All around you, elks and other natural, more or less natural creatures graze. And even you see even a couple of blitzers, which are rhino-like, huge armored magical creatures that evolve and mutate depending on what they eat. And snaking around the landscape is a small dusty road, which leads from Tenebrück to the southern parts of the western province. Eventually, you reach an ordinary-looking farmhouse surrounded by a tall hedge. The farmhouse is beginning to show signs of weathering, but is still in good condition. A small seating area provided a resting place outside and gives the farm a homey feel to it. Although the homey feel is very much disturbed by this big armored humanoid person, just like walking up and down outside the hedge with a sword drawn and a shield in the other hand, looking very menacingly at the farmhouse.
Is it still raining?
Drizzling, yeah.
Okay.
How much earlier did Torch arrive to the place?
Yeah, this is important.
Well, assuming she ran and you guys didn't, she's like 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Oh!
Good luck!
Oh!
100 rounds. I think you'll do fine.
Yeah. So I have arrived.
Actually, because she ran zigzag and you guys walk straight, I would I would think that you guys arrive pretty much at the same time, but a little bit from different directions, if that's fine.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, we're gonna go with that.
And you do know that you've heard everyone in the location have heard of the legendary spinner. They are master weaver of anything that can be woven, and you can see woven flags and different coverings like mats and things covering parts of the yard like apple trees and things, just hiding them from the first frosts. It's a very tranquil place and very, very beautiful location. A very big mismatch considering compared to Tenebrek.
Very beautiful, except the humongous, menacing armored humanoid at the
Yes.
gate.
Yes. To say that the armored creature sticks out like a sore thumb would be a very big understatement. Like even the lush hedge is it's wild but a little bit kept, and parts of it's covered by this sort of mats and cloth decorations.
Yeah. Have I understood correctly that the weaver is like regular civilian artisan and not some kind of like underworld shady shenanigans? person?
They are 100% neutral.
Okay.
Anyone can go to their buy things from them, but they don't handle with drama. They don't handle with any like anything else except their craft.
Yeah, I think that as we arrive, Torch stops her sprint, like she slows down gradually until she has slowed down to walk, and then she just walks up to the armored figure and is like, "Are you in line?"
There's something that the armored person. It takes a couple of seconds before they realize that some stuck them, and they turn around and you can see the armor is very gleaming, very bright, almost like a mirror, like polished to a mirror sheen, and you can see some sort of insignia, but you don't recognize it's this sort of very worlds coming crashing down.
No.
It's this very
The insignia is too powerful.
yes that thing. It's very random sort of. It reminds you of some sort of text, like cursive text in a language that you don't know, but still in the form of like almost like a graffiti, like way too fancy for whatever it's trying to be. It tries too much. Or it's worse than some graffiti, to be honest.
Yes.
How big is the crest and how far can it be seen? It's like one of those big insignias, or it's like
No, it's just like riding, like on the chest plate. There's this line of cursive, like riding.
Would assume that it doesn't look like one that belongs to the weavers.
100% doesn't, because the weaver doesn't handle in like
In metal and stuff.
yes.
If it doesn't flap, Weaver doesn't handle it.
Yes.
what does it say? I have the Eye of the Rune Keeper. It allows me to read any writing.
That's actually
Yes,
handy.
that's true.
Ah.
Yeah, just
Do
as
I
you
get
can
the
read all writing.
feeling that someone might be bonked in a moment?
That's very true.
Also, if this turns into a combat, you know that metal like
Mm-hmm.
I do know.
grasps heat quite well.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I do know.
A moment of it metal. Oh boy.
The writing is a very old, fancy-ass cursive version of the words "taxation will be mine" in Draconic.
Do I recognize the words, the slogan?
Um,
What would I have to roll? Or does my insight
it's
or
such a
investigation?
new thing that you wouldn't know it yet. But it's very old and written in Draconic, so
Is it like normal draconic, or is it like some kind of very ancient or old version of the language?
it's a fancy ass version. Like someone feels like old English sort of
Okay.
feel.
Because I do know draconic, but it's just like
Yeah.
different enough that I don't get it.
And also it's Draconic in cursive. It's like
Yeah.
Torch would be able to read it given enough time, but that's the same like I would ask you to read like Saxon English. Or
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
17
Yeah.
1600s English.
There's
Like
a bit of a
That's,
question.
you can read it eventually.
Yeah, this is a
Does
question. What
D&D
does make
5th
Draconic
edition
more
have...
fancy?
Well, could I use knowledge, history, or arcana?
Like I said, it's such a new person slash family slash organization that you wouldn't
I thought
be.
that if I could by connection of the old phrase.
I mean, it feels. I can give you this much without even a roll. It feels pretentious.
Oh, it's one of these. Okay.
So Adric at this point, if possible, moves to at least to 60 feet from the creature,
Mm-hmm.
and then sends with a swirl double of himself next to Torch with
Mhm.
still image, and uses a minor illusion to speak through it.
Nice.
Very nice.
Oh, hi there, good sir. What is your business exactly here, if I may ask?
The armored figure first turns to look at Torch, being all like kind of confused, but then shakes himself and is like, "No line here, only business. Nothing to see."
I take
And
out my
pointing you away, like,
and write down to Torch. Simple, because she only hears me in her head. Do you know this clown?
Nope.
Pretentious clown? Would you mind taking a few steps to the left?
To the left.
To the left of me, dude.
Yeah.
Accept-
We how are we positioned right now? Like, if I'm talking.
I mean, there's the guy, and then
Yeah.
there's you guys, and then Jin is like that way.
Yeah. Okay. But if we're at the like entrance, is it like?
Yeah, pretty close. Yeah.
Am I like? Is the guy in the way? Like I'd have to go around them, or
Yes.
is it like? Okay, so they're like there, and I'm in front of him, and then the Weaver's place is
Gate.
behind
Yeah.
them. Okay.
There's a
Very
There's a
slowly
big-
start walking.
there's a big
I don't know,
assumingly
walking towards them.
there's a big assumingly wooden gate covered in like woolen layers. Like someone would have made like ginormous wooden socks for this X-shaped gate beams. Like all the beams are covered in wool.
Yeah. Okay. When the guy, the humanoid figure says their thing, then Torch is like, "Oh, if it's just business, then I can go and deal with mine, and then she just casually starts going around the guy and heads to the Weaver's building. And yes, she goes from the left.
You can hear a very loud whoosh and chunk sound when the armored person's blade digs into the wooden gate, cutting you off, and like not open for business.
Oh, what a shame.
Only
Oh,
open for tax audit.
tax audit, does that say something to me?
Yes, no one should like. If someone pays taxes, it's more of a guideline. In like, some people pay taxes for the greater good of the nation, but some just. It's if you guys pay taxes, it's more taken out of like salary, and you don't need to think about it. And usually, no one just talks about it if it's a thing.
So this is basically just a sort of like a loan shark in disguise.
Yeah, or protection racket.
Yeah.
So is the tax audit like a city official institution, or is it more like Yakuza going after protection money?
Yeah, protection rackets are a thing that happen in Tenebrek, but literally no one would like call it a tax thing, or at least you don't know about someone who would call it a tax thing. Usually it's just like protection rackets happen, protection monies are paid, and sometimes it's really good to pay these sort of things.
Copy
Walk
just
up,
goes
I
like,
hail the person.
What?
Very clearly walking up, no hiding.
Yep.
Yeah. Then Torch turns to the figure, grabs the blade with both of her hands and starts to heat it up, flares herself up and like stares at the person and is like, I do have business here. Can I roll intimidation?
Yeah, you do that.
Yes.
do you have heat metal, by the way?
I actually don't. I'm just gonna like. I don't have heat metal specifically, but I'm just gonna like produce flame myself so much that I can affect the like metal broadsword
work.
thing I'm touching.
It takes a bit longer, but yeah, it would work.
Yeah, but the thing is that it doesn't actually have to do anything. It just like has to like start,
Yeah.
turning red. That's
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
thing.
roll me an intimidation.
Yes. So here we go. That, and then it was. I think this is how I do it.
Yep,
20.
that's a lot of intimidation.
I'm a very
uh,
scary fireball.
Yes. Torch is so intimidating, and the heat of the metal sword is so sudden that the creature does this sort of you're holding to the blade, and they try to do this sort of stroke that would cut your hands, but you just let it go, and the blade movement is sort of clumsy, and then this armored person turns to you and like takes a fighting pose. So roll for initiative.
Woo!
Oh, here we go.
Woo!
What did we say?
I'm 60 feet away. Oh boy.
How far am I from the target? If I've been walking towards them.
30 feet.
Okay, thank you.
So, my initiative was poor, to say the least. Yeah, my initiative is a total of 4.
12.
1.
1.
A natural 1.
Oh,
Is
we
your
had poor
dexterity
initiative.
dexterity 0?
Yes.
Oh boy.
I have no hurry to go anywhere.
you're
Neither of us are in a hurry.
Uh,
Only one in a hurry
what
for
it-
Hothead.
Torch roll.
12.
Is the creature going first?
No.
Am I going first?
Mirage.
I only had 4.
Well, he goes before you, but I don't think it matters.
I go last, I assume?
Yep.
Okay. Let's go. Let's do this. Come on.
Alright then.
Torch. Kill it.
Oh my god. So, yeah, Torch is like so ready to go and still in like full hype over her like succeeding to be very intimidating and scary, and she just like flares herself up as much as possible, as much as one can with a simple produce flames. Also, do I take damage at this point from produce flames?
Yes, you do.
Okay, so do I roll that first?
I mean, technically, you both. To use produce flame, you can. You don't take damage from produce flame. You can direct the heat to the guy, so you just heat up, but you don't take damage from it.
So I can hurl the flame. Okay, but I'm just...
No, you create produce flame. You produce a ball of fire to your hand, and you get just directed.
Okay, so I'm not gonna do that then. I'm just gonna, like, continue from my hype and just yell, "You don't mess with the Xarineth family!" and just, like, body slam.
Ooh.
Okay,
So
we're gonna...
combined with your magics, roll me.
Are we gonna have a pro wrestling fight here?
Yes, actually, roll me a Constitution check.
Heck yeah! And when it's just a regular Constitution check, it doesn't get any proficiencies,
Nope.
right?
Yes.
So it's just like this. What? 21.
Yes.
Nice.
So you just you channel your inner flames outside your body, and then you just like smash into the guy, and you don't care about the sharp edges of his armor. You don't care about the sword that cuts you a little bit. You take like
Meh.
5 points of slashing damage just because of the flesh meeting steel
Yeah.
thing.
Also,
But
I
you-
don't have any armor if I remember correctly. So.
Nope.
So.
I mean, it's
little
a little
things.
bit soft. It's a little bit softened by your scales. But thing is, you jump on the guy and pretty much knock him. Yes, you knock him down.
Is he prone? Or what was that a D&D thing? Yeah, I think it was a D&D
Yeah.
thing. Yes.
No, he's prone.
Ah!
Who's up next?
Oh wait, is our friend still next to the fallen enemy?
Unfortunately, it is his turn, so he can just rise up and use his blade to start slashing up on Torch. So the armored guy just rises up, sort of clunkily, because, well, he's wearing like 50 kilos of iron, so he's a little bit clumsy, but he still rises up and slashes twice at Torch. So my bigger roll was 10. No.
Nuh-uh.
He's just flailing around with his sword at the same time. He's trying to pull the armor up to a standing position, and he's just like flails miserably bad. Like Jin is looking at that combat and he's like, "Well, I could use a sword better than that." I am assuming Jin doesn't do swords well, but yeah. So that was him, Mirage.
Whether or not
Alrighty.
done a sword, that is a question for another day.
So, while this is all happening, Mirage comes out from hiding and starts to walk 30 feet towards the
Mhm.
enemy. At what position, like, so, this big fellow is next to the gate, right?
Yep.
And trees, there's trees nearby.
Hedge. Like
Yeah, that's enough, actually. But how close is our dear cousin?
I think like I'm like if
Yeah.
I'm not on top of the figure, I'm just like right next to them. I
do
think that when I've
apologize.
like slammed into them, then I like I don't know if I like fell down too or did some kind of like tactical dodge roll
Yep.
and got up. So I'd say like I'm very near.
So basically, as Adric is coming closer, he firstly takes the staff with turning it into shillelagh with a cantrip.
Shellele.
Yeah. So that becomes a nice magic stick. And then he does a bit of a trick and extends his hand like this, and then blows very gently, which causes strings of mist to start like spreading out from it towards both the cousin and this enemy, and it solidifies into a web spell. So I would like actually both of you to roll me a, was that a dexterity save? Oh wait, it started the turn. Yeah. So it's anchored there, 20 feet cube, and each creature at the start of its turn on the web has to make a dexterity saving throw. On a fail, they're gonna be restrained.
Yep.
So that's my turn.
Yep. Jin.
Misty webs.
Yes. That's a very cool.
In has a very interested smile on his face. He simply puts his hand up to his face, lowers it, and through both eyes come out an Eldritch Blast, kind of the beam. Casting Eldritch Blast. So the first roll at the big brute person thing. Oh, wait. Before I do anything. I try to tell him, I'd advise you to surrender. Do I hear any answer?
No.
And so be it. And then he does the Eldritch Blast.
Nice.
To hit. First blast. That would be 16.
Hits, yeah.
Second blast, 17.
Hits.
No
First
shields.
roll, 5 and 10. That's altogether 15 damage.
Nice.
Yeah. That's a very solid hit.
And is that your turn?
Please tell me you're going to continue. As I keep taking my steps. Please tell me you're going to continue. Please tell me you're going to fight till the very bitter, torturous, sad end. Show me the chivalry that will gain you the tax money. Show me the chivalry that will gain you the taxation you so seek. Well, hurry.
The guy
I don't
mutters.
have all day.
The guy mutters in Draconic, well, as you wish, then, you wretched creature.
Ooh.
Find the language, please.
I assume you agree.
Oh boy, I just had the craziest idea. And this is gonna shoot myself so badly right in the foot, but this is gonna be so awesome
shall see.
if you allow it.
Well, it is your turn, so...
Yeah, it is your turn. And,
Okay.
Dexterity save, by the way.
What?
Dexterity
Oh
save.
yeah, that dexterity save. I already
Yep.
forgot about that. So yeah, it's here and then here and this. Well, that was bad. It's 4.
You are restrained, so you can't move, but...
Is it like it? Does the web spell like form a like like a cage thing, or does it like constrict targets individually?
It's like webbing,
Individually.
yeah, individually. Imagine like being suddenly tossed a spider web onto you.
Yep.
Okay, because it would have been cool if it had been like a cage situation inside which me and the target both were.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
it doesn't matter because I have an amazing plan which doesn't require moving.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm gonna shoot a fireball at him.
Let's see.
Spell
Train
fireball.
on the-
Yes, the spell fireball from page 241.
You know what's the
Well-
best part about this? This is gonna do quite. Depends on the DM, of course. It's gonna depend on the DM. But our dear dungeon master, you know how web reacts to fire, right?
Yep.
And how is the damage actually calculated? Is it the amount per space, like each space separately if a creature is large and in the area?
No.
Okay, so they only take the one amount of damage.
Yeah.
Thank God. It would have been quite crazy if it was, for example, for large creatures, the same as 4 squares
No.
of damage.
Okay, so dexterity saves to both him and oh, hello. Torch, dexterity save.
Yes.
Actually, I could roll here too on the bot channel. So
14. So what did I roll against?
Your own
your
fire.
own spell save DC.
You're literally blowing the fireball on yourself while being
It's
tied
exactly
in
that.
webs.
My spell save DC is 14 and I got 14.
Technically, you
So-
should roll with disadvantage because you're restrained by the web. So
Alright, I'll do another
I'm
roll.
sorry!
So if this is higher than the
Yep.
earlier one, it's fine, but if it's lower, I'm
Yeah.
gonna take damage. But it's fine.
Yeah.
I have fire resistance, it's okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
Both
Two
are
14s.
14s.
same.
Okay.
So, half damage and half on top of that since resistance.
Yes.
Yep.
And then I roll damage.
Should I roll damage as well since my
So
web is gonna
it's-
do damage?
Yeah,
It's,
I mean, it does. The web will burn probably.
Yeah,
So,
web will
it's-
burn.
whatever.
That's for certain.
8d6s of
Yes.
damage.
That's a lot of 26.
So that's half 13, and then
So
6 and a
7.
half.
6.
It's rounded up. Okay.
Oh, 7. Yeah, 7 damage.
Okay.
And he
Okay,
takes.
that's 3 fire damage on top of from the web.
Okay. So 1, 2.
So do I take the extra 3 damage from the web too?
You take an extra 2 damage from the web, so
Okay.
total of 9.
I'm nowhere near like I can take a hit.
He just took like 41 to the face and plus like armor and all that jazz. He just starts like screaming because he's basically being boiled alive with watery web and a burning fireball just at his feet, and he starts just like falling to pieces. Like not literally, but like just breaking down in all the fire.
Emotional damage?
Very emotional.
Yes.
Well, this is going to be his funeral pyre.
Yep. And well, then it's Mirage has a turn and then Jin has a turn. So like, if you guys wanna, what his turn pretty much goes when he tries to basically get rid of part of the armor and
Yeah.
flailing around with his sword, being like the jackass he is.
Just for the amusement value, I think I would like to try, once reaching the fellow in melee, would like to bonk with the quarterstaff. I only had 30 feet to go, so I'm just gonna quickly roll that with all the fun benefits. And since it's Shillelagh, it can use my wisdom instead of my other attributes.
Yes.
So that's a +7. That's gonna be fun.
Oh boy. Big bonk.
Very big bonk. Does a 24 hit?
Yeah, easily.
It does.
Okay. Yoinks. I need to quickly check since I'm gonna get a Swarm Keeper benefit to this. Completely forgot that I had that. Shillelagh did 1d8 plus. So it's using also the wisdom modifier for the damage.
Yep.
Okay, let's roll. 1d8. And how much do I get from Swarm Keeper? Yoinks. Sorry about this.
A d6, I believe.
Yeah, that should be a d6 since once on each turn. Yeah. So basically, as I bonk, the mist just follows up with the strike.
Mm.
It looks like it turns into jacket-like piercing mist pieces. A shrapnel hit, sort of. Yeah, 1d6 piercing. And plus that. 11 damage. Quite small, but it works, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
That was a single bonk. And that's my turn.
Yep.
Is the dude still prone?
Not prone, but terrified.
I walk up to him. I put my hand to his head. Get up close. Say, tell me, who sent you? Whom has such bad taste in clan words, clan mottos? Whom is your lord? Whom do you serve?
The guy in the armor, just like he gets his visor up and he looks just freaking terrified inside the armor. You can see a youngish, humanish looking guy, just like not youngish, like middle-aged, human-like person who's just like terrified with all the fire and webs and the sort of this should have been an easy thing expression. And he opens his mouth and, well, I just wanted, I just had to and you can see his face starting to twitch, like we do. But his face is starting to twitch, and his eyes are rolling inside in their sockets, and the entire guy starts to shake, and the armor makes this sort of almost skeleton-like rattling, and you can see this liquid shadow starting to just manifest itself from various parts of the armor, and the letters written in the old Draconic just like rip themselves out of the metal with this sort of sound of ripping iron, and the letters and this liquid smoke coalesce above you into a very dark cloud with mostly a dark cloud with this unstable color-like elements, almost like a glow cloud. All hail. Jokes aside, this dark shadow starts coalescing around you, and that's where we'll end it for today.
Woo! Fireball!
boy.
Fireball!
We
Yeah.
literally did the old combo of firstly whip them and then fireball them. Ouch!
Yep.
Ah.
That was unnecessarily cruel. I liked it.
That actually, I did mean to do damage, but the extent of it was an accident.
I could just imagine the web being like filled with gasoline. Oh boy.
Oh boy. So yeah, I think I pretty much obliterated your somewhat challenging encounter for like level 6 characters.
No, you derailed it, but that's fine. My players derail all of my plans. Wouldn't you say, Physician?
Just maybe a tiny bit. Our little detours every now and then. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
I still remember the Life and Evolution temple. A lovely little visit. And then to the,
Yeah.
what was it, the Shadow Realm? After that.
Yeah. Well, long D&D campaigns have a lot of weird stories. We should actually do a Twitch hangout at some point to
Oh, definitely.
just tell stories about this campaign and others. But meanwhile, we will continue with the Zarnath Penumbral shenanigans in 2 weeks, when we will find out more about the cloud. Which, I mean, I hadn't planned it to come out now, but
It is what it is.
this is cooler. And you really poked the dragon with this one.
Oh.
Nice.
No one said anything about the dragon. I don't know what you heard. I just talked about the glow cloud. All hail the glow cloud. But yeah, returning to this glow cloud thing in a couple of weeks. Next week we'll continue with the Finnish Varganaja campaign, and yeah, stay safe, stay vigilant. May the dice ever roll in our favor. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter and all that jazz. Although we might, yeah. And one more thing, the second episode of this campaign will be available on our YouTube soon, so then you will be able to catch up.
Yes.
But yeah, thanks for watching. Like I said, stay safe, stay vigilant, and see you in 2 weeks.
Bye.
Bye
Bye-bye.
bye.